Hey y'all, welcome to Work It Wednesday. I am Cassie Bollinger. Team hashtag no limit, y'all. Tonight, I want to go over a couple different things. One, a reminder that Scentsy Family Reunion, the deadline is coming up on April 30th. Guys, SFR or Scentsy Family Reunion is absolutely amazing. You get to meet and see and learn and get so much information, goodies, meeting some of the leaders or some of the people from the home office. It's overwhelming, but everybody is amazing. It's a huge family reunion. Like, it's seriously meeting or seeing or re-seeing all the people that you've met before, or maybe you've talked to online, or through different groups. And you get learning experiences, you get training time, you get to see all the goodies coming out. So I just wanted to make sure that y'all know that Scentsy Family Reunion is coming up. You can invite your guests. So if anybody who is in or wanting to go to Charlotte, North Carolina, let me know. If you're wanting to kind of figure out experience, we are able to register our guests up until April 30th as well. So with that being said, tonight I'm going to bring back an oldie but goodie. There was going back through some of my SFR notes of all the different things that we have learned, or I have learned, or at least gotten to experience in the different trainings. There was one that Jen Audette did in 2021. And it was a huge secret that she let all of us in on, and I'm going to let you in on it too. So it was basically taking an anagram, incentives, and breaking it down to what is the big secret with Scentsy? How do you utilize Scentsy in your life or in your business? How do you build a business? How do you get customers? How do you get sales? Everything's kind of broken down through the word incentive. So I'm going to go through some of these. I will be looking down at my notes to make sure I cover everything. So the I. So if you get a piece of paper, guys, you're going to need to write these down. I for incentive is income producing activities. So these are things that produce an outcome. So there's so many different IPAs or income producing activities, but you need to find the ones that are actually working for you. You can start on different ideas or I guess processes, but you also need to do a check back to see if that is going to be working for you. So one of them is like when you recruit. So how do you get recruits and with considering IPAs? Well, you can do it so many different ways. Sometimes people do like recruiting packages or bags or information packs or packets. You can kind of break down what it is about Scentsy. Why do you like Scentsy? Why are you in Scentsy? What did Scentsy bring you? Making those recruiting packets with information so they can kind of sort through and decide. There is information in your catalog in the back that talks about what we get paid, how our compensation plan works, the different incentives that you can like get or work towards. We have so many different ones. When you first start with Scentsy, you have incentives in your first 70 days and then or 15 days and then 70 days. There's two different incentives that you can get, but on a monthly and a yearly, there's also more incentives as well. On a monthly, you can get a bonus for hitting over 2,000 in PRV. You get an additional 5% bonus. Guys, 5%. It's like, what job do you have that if you hit a goal, they just give you a bonus every single month? And you have an option of getting it or not. You don't get downgraded, but you get a bonus when you hit that 2,000. The yearly, we have two major awards that start May 1st and end on April 30th. As you notice, this is April. This is the last month to kind of finish up those incentives. But that means next month, there is a way to start tracking and figuring out what you want. The first one is Annual Sales Award. Annual Sales is a consultant that sells 30,000 in 1 year. It's a nice little incentive. The other one is Annual Mentor Award, and it's 14 teamies or recruits that hit certified. So that means they've gone through their first whatever days. It's a lifetime certification, but within that year, they hit certified. So those are the little awards and the little things that kind of you want to work towards for your recruiting. And the annual mentor award and the annual sales, the more you sell, the more people you're talking to. Another one is kind of like you need to have your plan. Like, what is your why? A lot of us will talk about your why needs to make you cry. It needs to be like, what is the bottom line of why did you join Scentsy? My why in the beginning has matured, has kind of like pivoted, has kind of created itself to a new why. In the beginning, I had lost my job in 2020 and I needed something, like just something. It didn't really matter what it was. I just needed something to be able to put my focus into because I was lost. I had no focus on anything. So my why at the time was I was desperate for money. And they told me, you work hard, you get paid off of every single thing that you sell, you make money. And I did. And then they were like, you know what? If you recruit and you get teamies and you train them, you cultivate them, you show them the way, then you also get a more, I guess, more commission because you get a portion of their commission. But at the same time is that you are still held to a higher standard because you're required to hit a minimum when you have a team. So kind of that why was first, it was just money. It was like I needed to learn how to do the everything to get high sales. Make sure that I got as many teamies as I needed or needed to get or could get, and make sure to train them to get up so I could have more money. And then as I moved through and I promoted and I promoted and I got to go on incentives, the world was changing. During COVID, it was a whole different type of mentality through Scentsy and online buying. Everybody was ordering online. So it was easy. And so working hard was easy because I could just post and pray. I could ask people and people were joining left and right and people were ordering all the time. And it was an easy process for me. Moving forward, the people started, finally getting back to work. There was no stimulus money. So there wasn't extra money being there and it became harder. And so I had to work harder. And I realized that my why was still, I needed something to focus on, a drive. But I also wanted to learn how to maintain a income, maintain basically a salary that if I can do this much, I get this much of a paycheck every single month. So it kind of changed a little bit. It wasn't the desperation of needing the money. It was the comfortable, stable point of, can I maintain this at a certain level? And so my why changed, and it still has changed. Even from the beginning, my biggest thing was I wanted to help other people do the same thing that I could do. I was able to pull myself out of a bad situation of our finances, not having a job, not having a goal, not having anything else going on. And that was kind of one of those things that I kind of pushed towards. And so now it is not the desperation of it. I am maintaining it. I am making sure that my sales hit where I needed to for the income. And then I help my team or I help other people throughout Scentsy to be able to create the business or the environment or the culture that they want in their groups or their teams, or even just in their life. I really wanted to help. I wanted to give back more than I was taking. So again, it's your journey is going to change and you're going to hit different points of what can you do. Let's see. One of the next thing is that you kind of want to start with the IPAs is that you want to make sure that you are finding a return on the things that you're doing. When my customers order online or through me directly, I always send out happy mail. It is my thank you to them. Now, if they order online and I didn't have a conversation with them or I didn't place the order for them, I always send them a little text and I'm like, thank you so much for your order. And then I'll get the email of your order has shipped and I'll let them know, hey, make sure that you're checking on your tracking number. It should update within the next 24 to 48 hours. Let me know if you have any problems. And then I check back with them again. Most of the time, being honest, most of the time I do check back. Sometimes I forget, and I kind of let them know that I want to check to make sure that their products are okay. So, and then I send out happy mail, and it's just another thank you. So it's just another way for me to show them my appreciation for them supporting my business. I mean, it's my own business, it's my own company, and I want to make sure that they know I appreciate them spending money and supporting me at the same time. So that happy mail goes out. Now, I can honestly say that is like your meat and potatoes. That's like bare minimum. Letting them know thank you, letting them know that you appreciate their business, and sending them something in the mail. That's not a bill. It started off with just writing thank you notes, and then I started to do some of my marketing, and I put my pictures on things so that way they knew who they were ordering from. They could kind of tell my personality. I invited them to a VIP group. So for me, an IPA, those are things that I want to make sure. I always make sure I have updated marketing. Every time that we switch over from fall and winter to spring and summer, I change my marketing to kind of do the seasons. Of course, I always do my rub and sniff stickers that I send out to all of my customers. And then when I get new customers, they get their own set of rub and sniff stickers. So that way they know the smells that they maybe didn't know was available. So for my major IPA is my follow-up, is my thank you notes. I spend time doing my happy mail and sending them out. I have taken a task that used to take me longer because I hand wrote everything. I had different systems to try to figure out like who do I message next. Now I just kind of go off of my workstation. I go through my history and I make sure I put it on a spreadsheet of who I've reached out to and who has ordered up until when I send out that happy mail. And then that way I know I've reached out to them, I've contacted them. And then if I notice it's been a couple of weeks or months, or maybe it's been a couple of catalog seasons, I try to reach out to them and just let them know that I'm still here. I'm still working my business. I'm still available for questions or even product questions. Sometimes the products, there may be something that's a manufacturer defect. They need to know that there is a lifetime guarantee on our warmers. So if something happens and it just stops working, then that's something that you as their consultant can take care of for them. So that IPA, the income producing activity, that activity is something that I schedule during a weekly basis, or weekly, like every 2 weeks, I make sure to kind of check in. If I only have 1 or 2 people that have ordered in the last couple of weeks, then I definitely I'm not going to spend the time yet, but I'm going to make sure that I have all my marketing material printed out. I use Canva for that. I probably need to do training on that, but I use Canva. The other thing is I want to make sure that I have enough stamps and envelopes, and I basically about every 2 weeks I'm checking in to make sure that I have enough materials to be able to do my next batch. Now it's never like 1 or 2 people ordered in 2 weeks. It's kind of like I may get 1 or 2 orders at the beginning of the week. I may get 1 or 2 orders towards the weekend, and then the next week I could have 15 orders. Like it always varies. It always depends on whenever they're needing refills. And a lot of my customers, I would say 95% of my customers are returning customers. So that's why I know that income producing activity is reaching out to them is working, because they are ordering when I message back to them, or they're refilling their waxes or their cotton cleanups. I also show them the new stuff in the VIP group. So that is part of my portion of IPAs. There's a lot more that you can do. Sampling is another idea for them, doing bulk sampling all at once. You can pick one of the staple scents or maybe one of the new scents and make a bunch of samples all at once, and then you can mail them out as people order. That could be their thank you, or when they're asking for samples or asking for scents, they can get the little sample. You can make them in belts or molds. So there's a lot of different things that you can do as an income producing activity. You just want to make sure that there is some way for you to measure, is it helping your business? Let's see. The next thing is, so incentives. The next one is N, never compare. No right or wrong. When you start with Scentsy, you're going to see everybody in the different pages or different chapters of their story, of their journey. You don't need to compare what you are doing right now against what someone else has been doing for 2-3 years or 5 or 6 years or 10 to 12 years. Everybody has a journey and everybody starts in a different path. Everyone starts in a different situation. Again, I had lost my job, so this became my primary full-time job that I worked 10, 12 hours at, because I was trying to build up my clientele, reaching out to my friends and family, then trying to get referrals to build my customer base. But for someone else who's doing this part-time, or maybe as a kidnapper, all I wanted was the free kits, or maybe even someone who wants to do it like the part-timer and the hobbyist. So they're not going to be putting as much effort into it because they probably have a primary job and they're doing this on the side to get that extra cash, that the gas, like being able to date night or gas money or grocery money. So everybody's journey is different. So don't compare. Now, you're going to see people that have amazing pictures and they take amazing photo shoots. And it's like, wow, how do they do that? Well, they do it because they've practiced. The first time they took a picture of a product, it wasn't perfect. The first time that they did samples and then took pictures of them, or a happy mail, or even started taking selfies, maybe they weren't perfect. It takes time to build up a, what do I say? A skill. It takes time to build up a skill. The skill that you have currently, you could be a marketing major. You could be working in a marketing company. And so when you start with Scentsy, you already have that background of what makes a good picture, what makes it appealing to your customers. That's one thing you have to think about, is that we all come from different backgrounds. My background was customer service. I worked in retail, I've worked in restaurants, I've worked in call centers. So I understand the whole thing about asking for, would you like dessert with that? Would you like to add cotton cleanups with that? Do you want to go ahead and make that a 6-pack? It'll save you money. Would you like to get additional bulbs with that warmer, so that way you have them on hand and you don't have to worry about ordering them later? Those small things people don't get upset about because you're offering a service. It's just like at a restaurant or in a drive-through for fast food. Whenever they say, do you want to supersize that? Do you want fries with that? Would you like dessert, or would you like some coffee? It is not a attack to them. They don't feel attacked. They're just like, no, not this time. No, not this time. Maybe next time. That no is not like a no. That no is basically you just knowing that it's not right now. So don't compare yourself. If you see people that are sitting there like, yeah, I sold 10,000 this month in sales, and you're just starting, don't think, why can't I do that? Ask, what did they do to get there? How hard did they hurt, or how hard did they work? Sometimes it's hard work and it does hurt. But sometimes there's the journey and you have to learn those smaller skills. When I started in 2020, I jumped so fast and hitting so many promotions that I didn't know what I had. I didn't even know the basis because I got there without having to do much of anything. So hitting titles and hitting promotions are great, but if you don't know how to maintain them, they're very short-lived. And then once you get there, it's not like there's a parade. I mean, you do get to walk across the stage at SFR, but after that, if you don't know how to maintain it, then you will lose that and you can drop down in your titles. It's not like they take money away, but that means you don't get as much. But don't compare. If you watch this video and you're like, I could never do videos, I could never sit there and do all the things that you do. Guys, I didn't think I could either. I didn't think I could either. But don't compare yourself. Don't stay in your own lane. Like, Put up blinders. There's a reason why the horses have these blinders. So that way they aren't distracted by what's going on. And sometimes in our business, we need to do that. And the next letter is C, which is the core. There's 4 cores that you really need to work on in this business. So one of them is your parties, because that will give you your PRV, sponsoring, along with, I say 4. Yeah. Customer service, growing yourself. So that means learning and training yourself on the different things. And of course, that goes with the training. But those are like your core 4. Those are the things that you have to do. I did do a 3 legs of success, which technically have 4 different ones. And that's also something that you can base your business off of. And that'll be, you can actually find that training here on my YouTube. But those different things, those different aspects, take different types of training to do. The words that you say to get a sale is not going to be the same ways that you get a recruit. The way that you treat your customers, if you get angry or upset when they say no, they're not going to be moving past that, doing a party for you or thinking about even doing what you do. The next one, let's see, that was CE, earn the rewards. What I was talking about earlier, the annual sales award, the annual mentor award. The annual sales, you don't need a team for. You can hit the annual sales at any time between May 1st to April 30th. If you hit it early, awesome. I mean, that is amazing. The first year I hit it early. I hit it very early. Last year, I was down to the wire. Now, this year, I will say I'm not close. Again, my life has changed. There's a lot of different things that are going on in my business that my priorities had taken. My Scentsy business basically took a back burner for probably about 3-4 months last year. And so I am back into it, and I've found a even level of consistency that has brought me more joy than trying to cram so much information into my brain. The next one is N, never give up. Brush it off. You are not going to be perfect the first time. And practice makes improvement, not perfection. You will never be perfect in anything that you do. You will improve on your skills, on your, like if you were a student and you were trying to study, every time that you did a study group, or if you were doing a study night, you are improving your knowledge. You're not making your knowledge perfect. You are improving it. You're learning different ways to learn information. Same thing with our business. If you do a video and you think it sucks and you just stop, you're never going to improve your not performance, your presence. You're never going to improve your presence. And if you don't go back and look at your different videos to find the different things that you do, that maybe you're umming a lot, or maybe you are using those transition words a lot, and it's very annoying to you because you're noticing it a lot, and maybe other people will start to notice it too. You also want to make a change. So if you're seeing something that you're doing and it's not seeming to feel, it makes you uneasy, or it's not feeling like it's working, it's kind of like pushing against the brick wall. You're just not getting any traction. You're not doing anything, and you just feel like you're banging your head. Well, maybe at that point you need to kind of look around and see if there's a doorway, or maybe a window that you can open to see what's on the other side, to figure out what you need to do. You need to be able to look back and take assessments of where you are at in your business, what you want to do, what you think you need to do, and then how to do it. And what I did and how I got my customers, or how I got my recruits, may not work for you, but you may be able to take that and tweak it. Put your own little spin on it, so they're actually signing up under you and not signing up under someone acting like me. The next one, T, 2-year plan. Your goal in your Scentsy business, the 2-year plan will get you to director. This 2-year plan is getting 2,000 a month in PRV and 2 new teamies every single month. With that, your 2 new teamies, some will do amazing things, some will do some things, and some will do 0 things. So when you are constantly recruiting and you're constantly asking people, you then start to kind of lose your PRV there, because those customers that you're using, you are basically moving them to the next level and they're becoming a consultant. They're coming underneath your team. Then you also have to start finding new customers. You need to start finding a new customer base, because you're like, that was one of my things, is that I recruited all of my amazing customers into my team. And it was like, oh, I didn't keep that rotating parties going, because I had a lot of amazing parties. I recruited a lot of great hosts and a lot of great customers, and then I forgot to continue partying. The next one is, you want to invest in yourself first. When I started with Scentsy, my first paycheck, my entire first paycheck went back into my business, buying like office supplies, buying different products that I wanted to do. I think I invested a little too much in my first 6 months, because I had a lot of product that was just sitting here not making me any money. Now, when you look behind me, you can see all my buddies, but those are for me. Those are my buddies. Like, I love the different sets that we have, the different collections, and buddies are like my thing. I love them. So I have learned to, when I invest money back into, it goes back into my team, back into my customers, and then it goes back into my business supplies, the different things that get me the IPAs, like being able to have cardstock and envelopes and stamps and those kind of things that I can give back to my customers. So again, I've learned to look back and tweak different things and realize that product here sitting at my house doesn't make me any money if it's not into a customer's hands. So I did a lot of different things with my customers on giveaways. I was just allowing people to use some of the products to know if they wanted to even try Scentsy. So I had loaner bags, so they could take a warmer and some wax and they could set it up at their house and they could see how Scentsy worked. With that, then it was easier to, if they brought it back, then I was able to send that bag back out to someone else. If they decided to buy it, then I would just create a whole new bag. The next thing is value. Value is something hard for someone working off commission to understand in the beginning. When you start thinking that our products are too expensive, that why are they charging so much? Like, I can't believe, yes, the prices are high. We don't get a discount. There's no reason to give customers discounts as well. If they want to earn free and half price items, they can do a party. They can do a link party, a house party. They can do an online party, a Facebook party, a scrolling party. There's ways for them to get those discounts, the free and half price items. There's ways as consultants that we can do our own party and collect orders and get free and half price items. But if you don't give them value, then your customers are just going to wait until there's a discount, there's a sale, and then they won't buy anything, because you've already kind of given off the whole perception that it's too expensive and I'm only getting it because I was able to get a discount. So finding your value in your products and showing them. When I'm done with this, I'll tell you more about that. So we'll go back to that one. Evaluate regularly. That's your E. So evaluate regularly. Check in with yourself. Is this working? Is this something I can maintain? Is this something I can do if I have more customers, a bigger team? If I'm really busy, am I going to be able to be consistent, maintain the base level that I've come up with? Is there a way to do that? So evaluate with yourself and just kind of look back, see what worked for you and what didn't work, and then tweak those things that weren't quite working for you. And the last thing is S, simplicity. Keep it simple, silly. It's KISS. It's a great saying, and there's a lot of other ways that people have said it, but keep it simple, silly. Keep it simple, sister, however you want to say it. If you keep things simple, it's easy to duplicate. If you find a system or you've created something that you do consistently over and over and over, just a system. I know it's like the scary word, the system. That keeping that simple is going to help you be more consistent. When you confuse it or make too many steps, like I'm going to do this, but there's 15 steps to get it done. Will you do it when you don't have a lot of time? Will you be consistent with it if you make too many steps? So keep it simple. And then the last thing I'm going to say about this for the incentives was if you can or you can't, you are correct. Now listen to that statement one more time. If you can or you can't, you are correct. If you sit there and you listen to any of my videos and you're like, I can't do that, you're right. You can't, because you're not even attempting to try. If you're like, I think I can and I really want to do this, then that's something you will do. People prioritize what they want in their life and prioritize what they want to get out of their life. The people that work out all the time, people are like, how do they find 6 days a week to work out? It's a priority. They'll get up earlier. They'll stay up later. They'll find their time to squeeze in what they want. It's the same thing for your Scentsy business. You can find time. It may not be a lot. There's a lot of things you can do in 15 minutes a day. You can even break up that 15 minutes into 5 minutes of each little task. What can you do in 5 minutes? 5 minutes when you first get up. What can you do at 5 minutes during your lunch period? And what can you do 5 minutes before you go to bed? If you break them into smaller, simple tasks, you'll be able to be consistent with it. Now, with all this being said, this is the incentives. This is why I wanted to talk about this. It's kind of like, how do you find simple systems to work? What can you utilize that you don't have to pay for? How can you work your business? Now, when I first started with Scentsy, I knew how to post a picture. I knew how to use other people's pictures. I knew how to download the images from the workstation. That was great. I'm not great on words. I'm not great on creating things. I'm a duplicator, not a creator. But I was able to start finding the free things to do to be able to broaden my audience. Now, the first thing is that I'm a Facebook girl. I do a lot of things on Facebook and I've learned a lot of things on Facebook. Instagram, I'm still working on trying to be consistent. I'm still working on how can I be more consistent over there than I am on Facebook, but it's kind of that give and take. It's easier for me on Facebook. It's not as easy for me on Instagram because I really haven't taken the time, and that's me. Then you have the other platforms. So there's TikTok and then there's YouTube. And if you take some of these different ones and figure out how can I use this to help me or help my business? So one thing that I figured out on Facebook is that I enjoy doing reels. I enjoy taking either short videos, adding some music behind it, doing a voiceover, showing people what I do. And that has been, for me, very beneficial because it has gotten me some sales. So again, when you start doing something, you kind of have to take that time to assess, is it working? Is it worth it? Is it bringing me money? Is it an IPA? Once you figure out it is an income producing activity, then that's when you start to broaden it. So utilizing what you have. So if you are a Facebook user, start looking at the different things that you can do with Facebook. Now, I started with the VIP page. I started with a group that I created that I do different posts in every single day. I do interactive stuff, and my VIP group is really kind of awesome. They're amazing. They all interact. They fight over top contributors. So that means they're commenting, reacting, or posting the different things that they get. They keep the group going. Has it always been that way? No. There was a lot of times I had a lot of people in there and the group was dead because there were so many people and half the people didn't even know they were in the group. So first of all, if you do start a VIP group, do not just invite people. Make it prestigious. Make it selectable. Make it your customers who have purchased from you. Now, you're still going to get people that are going to get invited in or asked to join because they want to see all the great things, and maybe they aren't customers, but that's okay. They're at least seeing the environment that you are that you're showing. They're seeing the different things that are going on. I then opened up, and I rarely ever posted on my personal page. I have started doing that a lot more. I then created a business page through Scentsy. So that one is more of my more salesy. It's more like, this is the things that I have for sale kind of thing. I try to be informative. I try to make sure that they see the different uses of the products. And some of the posts that I use on my business page, I'll use on my VIP. So on my Facebook, the things that you can do for free, the things that you have access to are, you can post your pictures. You can post those pictures into stories, and the stories are only there for 24 hours. Then you have reels. So the reels are mini videos that can be just images, can be videos, can be multiple videos. You can edit them. You can tweak them in any way you want. You can add different effects to it. You can add like background music. You can use it just for music. You can have, there's a lot of things you can do with reels. And with what I do is I show personal life, and then I show Scentsy stuff. And I try to take a step by step. If I was getting awards or I'm getting my charms, I did a reel that just showed the different things, the different steps of how I got this, how I made this, where I got the shadow box from, how I cut out the picture in the back, how I went about making a little shadow box of my charms so I could see them and display them. I've taken where I've cleaned my oven, or the stove part of the oven, and I did a little step by step. I took a little video of what I could do one-handed. Guys, it takes talent to videotape with one hand and clean, spray and clean, and take those different videos. And sometimes the videos are longer, sometimes the videos are shorter. Sometimes I take those videos and I make multiple reels and say part 1, part 2, part 3. Follow me. Asking people to follow you, asking people to share, asking people to comment. You can ask for things from your followers, from your friends, from your family. Hey, if you love this video, make sure that you drop a heart below, or make sure you share this with your friends. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. Make sure to, there's so many different ways that you can say, and you can add that in at the end every time or every couple of times. That was just some of the ways that I started with Facebook, just trying to build an audience, get followers. The next step that I went to YouTube. I watched all these videos off of YouTube, and I would watch all these different leaders who had all these different amazing trainings. And I'm like, I want to do that. And I had someone ask me, why don't you do that? I don't know, because I'm scared. How do you upload stuff? Well, guess what? I found a YouTube video on how to upload YouTubes. That's what I did. And then I did my own video that showed how to upload a video to YouTube while uploading a video to YouTube. It was a how-to of how I'm doing, of what I was doing. It was great. There's different collections that come out. So I will, if I do an opening in my VIP group, I will finish the opening, I'll have the interactions, and then that kind of gives me like, what did I want to say? Did I say everything I wanted to say? What do I want to condense down? And then I just take a video on my phone. I just open my phone, turn the videos on, I set it up. I have a little mount right here. I set it up, and I do basically the same video, but maybe shorter. Just depends on how opening, but I take like a product. So if I have a box that I got from an order from either a customer or my orders, and I'm going through it for my VIP, they get to see that. Then what I do is when I'm done, I then turn the video on just for one product. Maybe it's the warmer of the month. I will do a reel. So I will try to do a short video. Reels are normally like 90 seconds or less. A short on YouTube is less than a minute. A regular video is a minute or longer. You want to be kind of to the point. I mean, not fast, but you want to kind of get to the point as soon as you can. And then you have to get that interaction. Most of the time, whenever I start, I'm like, hey, y'all, it's Casandra Kitchen or Casandra Bollinger or it's Cassie Bollinger or hey, guys, it's, hey, y'all, it's Cassie, your Scentsy lady. There's so many different ways that you can come in and kind of catch them. Now, I realized when I started watching my videos back to back to back to back that I was like, oh my gosh, I say hey y'all a lot. But they're not seeing all of those videos unless they're going on my profile or on my playlists or on my reel list or all those things. They're not seeing all those videos every single time. They're seeing it when Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or YouTube shows it to them. So you being consistent with what you're saying or how you're saying it, sometimes they'll catch it, sometimes they won't. You want to make sure that you are doing movement of some sort. You don't want to just be sitting here like this, because as they're scrolling through, and watch it, guys, when you are doing this, take a mental note. What makes you stop? Okay. Sometimes I stop on ones because it's like they move and they do crazy things. And that makes me stop and I want to know what's going on. And then I may be like, okay, not me. And sometimes it's a voice. I'll scroll past something because of their voice. It may hit a certain octave or it may have a certain sound that just isn't appealing. And I may pass over it. But then I may come across another video of theirs and maybe they were sick at the time. And that's why it sounded very nasally or like they were sick, because they probably were sick. But I've now created where I take a video of something, I upload it to my reels on Facebook. Remember, 90 seconds. I will take that same reel and I will download it to Instagram, 90 seconds. Now there's a way to share it, but I don't like sharing them because sometimes I try to word them differently, because when I've shared them, sometimes the audio didn't come across or the music didn't come across. So I've been trying not to share them. I can upload the same video and then I can do my voiceover. So you just kind of have to decide how you want to do it. But then I can take that video and I can go on YouTube and create a short. And then I can take that video and I upload it to TikTok. TikTok, I think you can do up to 3 minutes, or maybe I think it changed. I think there's 6 minutes and 3 minutes. So you can utilize the same video. But I don't go straight to TikTok because I don't want the TikTok emblem on there. I can download my stuff from Facebook. It doesn't have one of the images that pops around. Instagram does. So I do a lot of my recording from my phone, uploading it to different ones of these platforms, and I utilize what I have because I enjoy it. Now, I'm not very good at the stories. I'm not really good at just posting anymore on my regular page or my I guess it's just my regular page, because I do post on my business page and I do post on my VIP page consistently. But it's my personal page. They end up getting a lot of the reels. Then I share those reels. See? So I'm sharing the reels from my personal page to my business page, or from my business page to my VIP group. So I'm trying to share it in different platforms because it's going to hit different people at different times. If your video is put into a VIP group that is private, it will only be seen by those people in that VIP group that's private. If you do a reel, it doesn't get shared everywhere because they have to be in that VIP group because it's private. So I'm just trying to remind you, if your account is private on any platform, people will not find you. People will not accidentally come across your reel, your story, your post, because it's private. So the only people seeing it are the people that are currently your friends, currently friends with you, or you are following back and forth if it's TikTok or Instagram. So if it's a private account, it's not going to grow. Now, with all that being said, one thing to think about is that I don't go after the vanity numbers. I don't go after numbers like, if I hit this, I have made it. I'm not really worried about the followers as a number. I'm looking at it as a, my audience is growing. There's more potential for customers the more people I have. I'm not looking to just get followers. Like, I don't want to pay for bots or advertisements just to get people to follow me. That for me does not seem authentic or personal. I want them to follow me because they like my content, or they want to know more about this warmer, or they want to know more about the air purifier. That's what my intent is, to grow. on my audience base is I want them to like something I'm doing, the how-tos, the tips, the tricks, all the things of the Scentsy world. That's what my ultimate goal is. So when you are working your business, starting your business, start small, one thing. Try one thing and keep it consistent. Is it the VIP group? Posting to your personal page? Creating a business page? Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube? Find one thing and focus on it until you grow enough that it becomes second nature. It becomes a habit. It becomes something that you can do without thinking about it. I always have to stop when I do my videos and reels. I always have to stop when I go to Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and TikTok, because they have different processes when you're uploading those things. And they all have different features. Guys, you can't do it wrong. Push the buttons, click the things, try them out, see if they work for you. Find you. In all of this chaotic mess, your customers buy from you because of you, because of who you are, your personality, what you show them, what you can bring for them. They will buy from you when they like, know, and trust you. So do things that they would trust. If there is a feature, about our different bulbs, they all come with a white bulb, but you can change the colors of the bulbs. Did you know that? Like, that's a tip that's helping them know that the light bulbs are available. The warmer stands, the ones that hide the cords, that's something for them to know. They may not have known that, so they didn't know that they needed that. Cotton cleanups for your wax. I mean, guys, cotton cleanups, they're so amazing. And when you use the products, it's easier to talk about them. I use cotton cleanups all the time. So it's really easy for me in a conversation to be like, hey, do you need some cotton cleanups? Because they're the easiest thing to clean up the wax. It's easy to say. It's easy for me to say counter clean is amazing. It cleans more than counters, but all I can tell you about is the counters in my kitchen that are clean, and the stove top is clean. It's a counter. I may show them that I'm cleaning other things, but that's not what I'm promoting. I'm promoting the counter clean because it's amazing to clean the counters. The bathroom cleaner is amazing because it cleans the bathroom. It's foaming. It gets rid of that soap scum. It gets rid of that buildup. It's fast and easy. You spray it. You let it sit for a couple of minutes. You come back and wipe it off. Those different things are things I've learned. I've used them. I've used the products. If you just only showed your customers how you're using your Scentsy products, you will make more sales than using a flyer that someone created. Now, if you're creating flyers and you're putting your picture on it, your information, and you're like, wow, like, I love this, you can do that because you're showing your face. You're showing your personality. You're showing they're relating that with you. It's not just a random picture. It's not just someone else's picture in a house that they know that's not yours. Like, they know that you don't live by a beach, and so the background that's the beach and the back of the pictures and stuff is not from your house. Show them you. Be about you. So that's what I have for you guys tonight. Thank you so much for showing up to Work It Wednesday. I'm here every single week on Wednesday. If you're in my group, I love you all. We will talk more about SFR soon. Also, if you're not in my VIP, or if you're not in my team, and you want some information, comment below on this video. I would love to have a conversation with you. There's no obligation, guys. I will never hound you to sign up with Scentsy, because I promise you, for me, it was just a journey that I took, and maybe it's not time for you, and that's okay, but you can still get the information. If you're following me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, thank you so much. I appreciate all of my followers. I love my customers. I love being able to give back to you guys, because you guys make this whole business worth it. Other than that, that's what I have for you guys tonight. I love you all. I hope you have a blessed Wednesday night, and I hope to talk to you guys soon.